Hello there, and welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that can give even the most cool-headed apprenticeship provider a bit of a wobble, the Ofsted inspection. But look, there's no need to panic. We're going to break down the key questions they almost always ask, and more importantly, show you how to come out of it absolutely shining. Let's get cracking.
Right then, the email has landed, hasn't it? The date circled in red in the diary, and suddenly every filing cabinet looks a bit chaotic and you're second-guessing every decision you've ever made. That little knot of panic starts to form in your stomach. It's a feeling many of us know all too well.
But honestly, don't get your knickers in a twist. The best way to get your head around an Ofsted inspection is to picture it as your very own Great British Challenge. You've got your judges, that's the inspectors, you've got your recipe, that's your curriculum, and you've got your magnificent showstopper bake. And that is the impact you have on your apprentices.
And you know, just like any proper baking competition, getting it right all comes down to mastering 3 key stages. You nail these, and you're well on your way to being crowned a star provider.
So this is our game plan. First, we're going to look at the recipe, which Ofsted likes to call intent. Basically, your curriculum plan. Then we'll get our hands floury with the bake or implementation. That's how you actually deliver the goods. And finally, the best bit. The proof is in the pudding, which, you've guessed it, is all about your impact. Simple as that.
Right, part 1, the recipe. You see, a truly fantastic result always starts with a brilliant plan. This is where you prove that you haven't just chucked a load of ingredients in a bowl and hoped for the best.
Okay, this is the first big question they're likely to hit you with. What they're really asking for here is to see your recipe card. They want to understand the why behind every single choice you've made. What's the master plan?
So, what does a brilliant star baker answer actually look like? Well, the inspectors are checking 3 things. Is your curriculum intentional? Does it meet employer needs? And is it properly sequenced? So your answer needs to show that it was designed with employers, that it's perfectly aligned to the knowledge, skills, and behaviors, the KSBs, and that it builds up that knowledge in a way that just makes sense.
Now this one is a biggie. I mean, it's all well and good having a spectacular recipe for a Victoria sponge, but if the customer actually ordered a Battenberg, you're a bit stuffed, aren't you? The judges need proof that you're baking the cake the industry actually wants and needs.
And how do you prove it? Well, you can't just say, oh yeah, we had a chat with some employers. You need proper evidence. Have you got an employer advisory board? Can you show them the feedback from regular surveyors? This is your proof, your evidence file that shows your recipe is a guaranteed crowd pleaser.
And finally, for this section, they'll want to know how you build that knowledge over time. Think about it. You wouldn't ice a cake before you've even baked it, would you? It's all about logical progression. You start with the foundational stuff, your flour, your eggs, then you move into real workplace practice, get them tackling meaty projects, and then you get them ready for the big finale. Each stage builds perfectly on the one before it.
All right, our recipe is sorted, it's ambitious, it's relevant, it is perfectly planned out. But let's be honest, a great recipe is nothing without a brilliant execution. It's time to roll up our sleeves and talk about the bake itself, your implementation.
Now, while you're baking, 2 things are absolutely vital. First, you've got to keep an eye on how things are going, checking progress with reviews and assignments. But what happens when you spot the dreaded soggy bottom? What's your plan for an apprentice who's starting to fall behind? The judges want to see your rescue mission, the extra coaching, the clear action plans, the proper support to get them right back on track.
This question really gets to the very heart of what apprenticeships are all about. It's not just about learning theory in a nice, clean classroom kitchen. The whole point is whether they can actually use those skills in a real, high-pressure, professional environment. How do you make sure the learning doesn't just stay in the textbook?
The proof here is all in the partnership between you and the employer. You need to show that your apprentices are working on real projects with real tasks. You need to demonstrate that employers are giving proper feedback and that experienced colleagues are mentoring them. That's how you prove that the skills are really being transferred and sharpened on the job. Now, every great baking challenge, as we know, ends with presenting that final showstopper. All that hard work, all that practice, it all leads to this one big moment. And for our apprentices, that moment is the endpoint assessment, or the EPA. You don't just shove them in front of the judges and cross your fingers, do you? No, you prepare them. A star provider runs mock assessments to give them practice, holds revision workshops to hammer home that knowledge, and does meticulous portfolio reviews to make sure all the evidence is absolutely spot on. It's a process that's baked in from day one.
Okay, deep breaths, everyone. The bake is out of the oven. it's presented beautifully, but now comes the moment of truth. The judges pick up their forks. This final part is all about the taste test, the proof that's in the pudding, your impact.
And this is it, the ultimate question. Forget all the process and the paperwork for just a second. The inspectors want to know, so what? What real, tangible, measurable difference has this whole thing made to the apprentice, to the business? What's changed for the better?
You can't just get away with saying, oh, it made them better. You've got to show it. You need the data. Can you demonstrate improved job performance? Can you point to people getting promotions? Can you show actual business improvements, like better efficiency or higher sales? This is where your results have to do all the talking.
And let's be honest, nothing tells a story quite like a powerful quote from a happy customer. Hearing an employer say that your apprentice was an absolute game changer who transformed their whole way of working, well, that's worth more than any spreadsheet. This is the human story that brings your data to life.
So, there we have it. We've covered the recipe, the bake, and the tasting. We've seen what the judges are looking for every step of the way. But there is one secret ingredient, one golden thread that has to run through absolutely everything you do to really impress them.
And that secret ingredient is alignment. Think of it as the ultimate compliment from the judges, the Hollywood handshake of the Ofsted world. It's when your recipe, your bake, and your pudding are all in perfect, beautiful harmony. When what you said you were going to do is exactly what you did, and it resulted in the brilliant outcome you were aiming for all along. That right there is a hallmark of an outstanding provider.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to mull over. When you look at your own program, from the initial recipe through the whole bake to that final taste test, is it truly, honestly, ready for its showstopper moment?